picture. We are controlling transmission. We will control the horizontal. We will control the vertical. We can change the focus to a soft blur, or sharpen it to crystal clarity, or sit quietly and we will control all that you see and hear.
All right, what's going on, guys? It's been something of a week, hasn't it? Been a lot going on. Oh, before we get started here, let's see who's in the house. What do you say? Oh, who was first? Glenn was in first. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Pauline Parker's with us. Pauline had a question. She's going to buy a solar generator. She wants to know which one to buy, any recommendations or whatever. If you would, just shoot me an email. Let me know exactly what you want to power up, what you want to do, and I will send you back a recommendation. Just remember, the more that you want to operate, the more it's going to cost you for a generator. But if you're looking for, like bare minimum stuff, that's easy. It's inexpensive, and I'll be glad to help you out with that. Nick L's with me. There's one of my radio guys right there. I want to say good evening to everybody. All right, Tennessee's representing tonight. 86 and humid. It was probably about 94 here today before it started raining. And that dropped down to about 78. And of course, the humidity's through the roof. So that's normal for here. But it's comfortable out there now. It was not like when I woke up this morning. Glenn Anderson, what's going on, buddy? Texas is in the house. Lynn is with us. There we go. Hoping everybody had a good evening. She didn't get any rain. Wow. It looked like most of it was south of us. We finally got some of it today. Yesterday, I had all these awesome plans yesterday. I was going to have lunch with Debbie, and I was going to have dinner with my daughter. But they kept telling us that, we're going to have these tremendous storms and all of this rain and stuff. And we can't leave Tucker here by himself when it's storming because that big old dumbass dog goes crazy. So I had to cancel those plans. Didn't even rain yesterday. Rained about 10 minutes in the middle of the day. So screwed up all my plans. Janet's with us. All right. I was representing. There we go. I understand you and Kathy hooked up. That's a good thing. Glad to see you. There's Debbie right there. Hey, what's going on? I hope you and Rob are doing good. Come on down. Come on down. Let me see who else I got down here. Come on. I know there's more than that in here because I can see the number right there. If you hadn't commented, jump in there, guys. Let's hear it. Rural's with us. What's going on, bud? I couldn't catch you live stream a while ago because I was setting up my studio here, but I will watch it as soon as I get done here. Happy to see you's in the house. And short-lived Saint, my man right there. We got to get together and go to the gun range again, buddy. I love that range over there we've been going to. So we got to get together. Who else we got down here? Oh, come on, come on. Greg Harmon's with us. There he is right there. Craig is in the house. Hey, all right, Craig. Nick L is wanting to set up a little compact radio unit that he can carry out in the woods. I told him I was going to get with you to get all the components to yours, and then I would let him know. So you can expect a call. Hope he's trying to set up something where he can go out, carry it out in the field with him. And I know the one you have is perfect. Matter of fact, we need to get together. I want to do a video on that. I'll just do a video on that. Rebecca's with us. Happy birthday right there. She had a birthday this past week. All righty then. And she got some new chicks too. Those little chicks were cute. If y'all hadn't checked out her channel over there, go over there and check it out. David T is with us tonight. Linda Farrow. There we go. There's another one of my cheerleaders right there. Who else we got down here? Let me see. Did I get everybody? Southern Tier. All right. We got to get you a wrench. I'm going to get you a wrench. Promise. You've earned it. You've been here. And Edith Wallace or Jeffrey, or maybe both of them's here. shot you an email back. It's great to hear your mom's doing better. That is awesome. Looks like our prayers are working, buddy. And we're continuing to pray for her. Oh, come on down here. Who else we got? Todd Neese is with us. Another Iowa right there. 4th and goals in the house. Yeah. Long timer right there. Husky Mama's with us. We got to get together too. Remember, any Monday. I know you guys want to get together on a Monday, so let me know. We'll hook up. There's the other Iowa. Right there. Them kinfolk right there. Appreciate y'all being here with me. Here's a new one. Detector to guns. All right. That ain't federal, is it? You're in Longwood, Florida. Good. We got to hook up, man. We got to get together. There's my man Scorpion. Looks like he's wrapping up his RV build, and that's a good thing, I'm sure. I know how it was to put mine together. It wasn't easy. Genesis is back. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. There's Fluffy. There's another one of my girls. Oh, come on down here. I think I pretty much got everybody in the roll call. James McGrath. I know you've been here before, but you haven't been here in a while. I appreciate it so much.
Detector. Oh, you got detector.
Yeah, I got him. But there's Philip. He made it. Philip Dixon's in the house. Yeah, you didn't miss anything. We're just doing roll call. But we do have some stuff we want to talk about. Appreciate every one of you being here, guys. I love every one of you. I truly do. Thank you so much. But hopefully you guys saw the ruling that the Fifth Circuit Federal Court laid on the ATF this morning. They pretty much told them that their pistol brace law, they wanted to call it was a rule, was unconstitutional. And the judge laid it out good to them. ATF. He told them, you are not a legislative body. You cannot make law. You cannot, come out with these regulations that violate the Constitution. And he straight up pretty much told them, I don't want to see these come across my desk anymore. So that was a good thing. But of course, they're going to appeal that ruling. It went all the way up to Fifth Circuit. So the next step is the big boys, SCOTUS. And I'm pretty sure I know how that's going to work out. So they need to go on and file that appeal and send that on up. And we'll let Judge Thomas write that opinion for them, because I know where that one's going to land. He's pretty much going to tell them, he probably, first thing he would do is ask them a question. Didn't you learn anything the last time? Because I know they're going to shoot that down when it gets there for sure. That judge is right. You're not a legislative body. They can't hand down these willy-nilly laws and expect us to live by them, because they don't have that authority. It's that simple. As far as I'm concerned, the ATF is like a scab on a hog's ass. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to say that. Yeah, I did. I said it. I meant it. That's all they are to me. That's all they are to me. They're nothing to me. They're just a bunch of fascists.
You look at me like you're going to get scolded.
Yeah, like I'm going to get scolded. She tries to keep me in line.
Yeah, he talks too fast for me to stop him.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. But what we got here? I see some caps. Fifth Circuit, that's New Orleans. Leave it to the south. Yeah, and they also cover Texas.
Yep. David, damn Skippy.
Yep. They also cover, well, actually, that ruling's good pretty much everywhere until it goes to SCOTUS. That rule, I keep saying law because they thought it was a law, but no, it's gone. Pistol brace rule is gone. SCOTUS probably take the case and let the Fifth Circuit ruling stand. Yep, probably will. I see that happening. Yeah, he's currently in Orlando, Nick. We need to hook up. We're going to hook up. All of us need to hook up is what we need to do. I need to get a meeting together. I need to find somewhere indoors for us to meet so we won't be out in this heat. Hopefully we, get some like-minded folks together. But yeah, we got to do that. Did you guys see what's happening in Europe with the World Economic Forum backed governments? what Macron pulled the other day. Now, this is classic right here. This right here this is what the socialists and the one worlders want to do. Parliament in France basically put Macron in his place and told him, you're done. You're not going to get anything through us anymore. The people over there elected a conservative parliament, and they put him in his place. So he said, okay, you're all fired. Get out of here. So he basically shut down parliament, and he's called for new elections to get new parliament members. That's the kind of thing that these socialists pull right there. I'm going to be watching that one. I want to see how that one works out. Plus, we had the Belgium president. He resigned earlier this week because his parliament pretty much did the same thing to him, but he knew he was fighting an uphill battle. But he did say something that's very interesting. I don't know if you guys know about this or not. He warned that World War III would break out within 3 months.
Damn.
And this is a guy that's in the know over there with the Russians. He was a big Russian backer. But he just pretty much put it out there, told everybody this is going to happen. You need to be on the lookout for it. And the way things are shaping up, we're going to talk about that here in just a little bit, especially what's going on here in Florida. But the way things are shaping up, looks like it might happen. I mean, I don't know if it will or not, but I know if it's going to happen, it'll happen before the election this year, because they're afraid of what might happen with that. I mean, every country in the world right now knows the United States is weak. And if they're going to make a move anywhere, they're going to do it while we have our current administration in place, because if by some miracle Donald Trump does get elected, them days are over. I mean, he'll just tell them, okay, you want to start something? Let's rock and roll. You got some big guns. I got some big guns. Let's just start popping and see who wins. And that's what they don't want. What you got, baby?
Susan's in caps. You want to take a peek?
Excuse me, guys.
New York Fed chair.
What we got here? New York Fed chair said that the economy will collapse soon, and they are not the only ones. We've been getting reports from huge banks, J.P. Morgan, BlackRock, pretty much all of them, that the economy is going to collapse. So you need to, I was going to touch on that tonight, but I didn't put anything in here to do that. I got a limited space here, what I can talk about. But, I've been telling you guys, the warnings are everywhere. I do have a couple of comments about the economy and what's going on. But, it ain't no big secret that the Saudi Arabians did not renew the contract to make the U.S. dollar the world petrodollar. So that's going to hurt the economy terribly. That's the only thing that backed up the U.S. dollar. We're not on the gold standard. We don't have the military power to back up the dollar anymore. The only thing that was doing it was that it was a petrodollar all over the world. You had to have U.S. dollars to buy oil. Not anymore. That's over. Saudi Arabia and the OPEC nations have said, nope, we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to take local currencies from every country around the world. So that pretty much sealed the fate for the dollar. It ain't looking good, guys. The economy ain't looking good at all. So just get ready to fend it off. What else do I want to talk about here tonight? This right here. Yeah, all the liberals talking about how Trump's going to use the Department of Justice, FBI, CIA, all of those organizations like Gestapo. Well, they're just laying the groundwork to be able to cry when he goes in there and he wipes out all of those people in those departments that don't support the Constitution. And he brings in constitutional believing leaders into those organizations, and they go after people that are violating our constitutional rights, just like they did with him. But they're laying the groundwork for that so they can cry. See, we told you what he was going to do. Yeah. And he needs to do it. Somebody needs to do it. This little worm that's running the DOJ now, you all know he got called to the carpet by Congress the other day. They're going to hold him in contempt. What good's it going to do? Who are they going? Are they going to hold him in contempt of Congress, turn him over to the DOJ, and expect the Department of Justice to do anything about it? He's the director of the Department of Justice. That's all a smoke and mirrors, guys. That's all a dog and pony show is all that is. They call him up there every, month, 2 months or so, and chew on his bottom a little bit and then tell him to go home, and that's all you hear about it. Well, that's all this was. The contempt of Congress thing on this guy's a joke. Nothing's going to happen. It was all a joke. But you know who was held in contempt of Congress? Steve Bannon. You remember that? When the Democrats were running the House of Representatives, they held him in contempt, turned it over to the DOJ for prosecution, and they prosecuted him. And he was sentenced to jail. But he was out on bond waiting appeal. The appeal hadn't been heard in 2 years. But just the other day, the Department of Justice revoked his bond and told him he has to report to prison by July the 1st. That was the day after this right here happened. Congress referred Jim Biden and Hunter Biden to the DOJ for prosecution. Now, you think maybe they're playing a little lawfare there, just like what they did with Donald Trump? If anybody says they're not, this is proof they are. Absolute proof that they are. House of Representatives want these two charged. They want them to face charges and prison time for what they did, lied to Congress, misled Congress. And then what did the DOJ do the day after that was referred? They told Steve Bannon he had to go to prison because he used to work for Donald Trump. Straight up lawfare, guys. It's that simple. It's as plain as the nose on your face. It's ridiculous. This is the thing. This is the kind of thing that's destroying our country. We are so divided in our political parties right now. The people that are running things up there, they're not my leaders. I'll never call one of them a leader. And they damn sure don't represent me. So they're nothing to me. Unfortunately, they are controlling this country, and they're so divided, they're fighting each other and doing whatever they can to destroy their opponent, and it's ripping this country apart. You've heard me say it before, and I'll say it again. They're going to keep pushing until they get something they wish they never got. It's that simple. They're trying hard to make it happen, I believe. And when they get it, they ain't going to like it. Let me leave that right there before I say too much.
Janet type something and then.
What we got here? I'm afraid our military will show up for war and everything.
In evening gowns.
And evening gowns and high heels. Yep, that's. Oh wow, yeah, that was something that Lady Prepper wanted me to talk about tonight. I forgot about it.
I was just going to remind you.
Have you noticed that the military, of course, they're not getting the people they need? There's no way they can defend this country. It's an absolute joke. No way. But you know why they can't? Because they're not seeing anything positive out of the military.
Be all you can be.
Remember the old Army commercials they used to do, telling you to be all you could be, and they would show these guys and gals toughening up and running these drills and looking sharp. You don't see those anymore. All you see on TV anymore about the military are the Wounded Warriors, Wounded Warrior Project, Tunnels to Tower, and organizations like that are trying to take care of these guys that the government will not take care of. Now, why would a young person want to go to the military after all they see on TV? You know how influential TV is on young people. All they see are these veterans coming back, tore all to pieces, blind, limbs missing, stuff like that. And the federal government is not taking care of them. Why would they join the military? And then when they do see something, an ad for the military, it's usually some guy dressed as a woman or vice versa, talking about how they're woke and all of this crap. Well, guess what? Real American patriots don't give one damn about that kind of stuff. They're not going to be preached to about their morals because they don't believe in those kind of things. So they're not going to join the military. That's why we can't get enough military people right there. I don't blame them. College used to be a benefit. You could go there, you could, get your money to go to college. Well, now you don't even have to do that because the Democrats will just say, okay, you owe $100,000, here, forget about it. They're doing this administration is doing everything it possibly can to destroy our military. And there's a reason for it, guys. Wake up, look at it. If I call it out here, they're going to restrict this. You know what it is, and I know what it is. Get ready. Do what you have to do to get ready.
Glenn said he heard today that they signed an executive order to fund Ukraine's support for 10 years.
Yep. $50 billion more for the next 10 years. All Joe did with that right there is secure his 10% for the next 10 years.
What about Rural Road?
The
podcast.
Hey, Diane, thanks for joining us. What you got?
Rural wrote that he heard a podcast saying that the draft would be used as gun control. If you want to keep your guns, you're drafted. If you give them up, you can stay an unharmed citizen. That's interesting.
That is interesting. But that turtle never float in this pond.
Yeah.
There's too many people in the United States that want to keep their Second Amendment rights. And if that's going to be, one of the wedges they try to use to drive between the American people and our ability to defend ourselves, that ain't going to work. I can tell you that. But I wouldn't put it past them. They might try that. But it's not going to turn out nice for them when they do. I promise you that. Hey, son, what's up? Better late than never. Absolutely, my friend. But yeah, it wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility for them to try to do something like that. We'll see. That's another one of those situations they're going to say, we never should have done that. just like Hirohito the day after Pearl Harbor. he basically said, hey, I think we made a mistake. And he was right. He was absolutely right. All right. Well, we got. Oh, now let's get to it. Being real with your preps, guys. It's time to get real because things are getting bad. And you can, especially here in Florida, and I think it was about a month ago in California, we all saw the Russian military doing exercises in the Caribbean this week. They got ships and submarines in Cuba right now. Of course, our intelligence people don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know what the guy next door to them is doing. Same thing happened in California last month. If you remember, Russian Navy was right off the California coast. Well, now they're right off the Florida coast. They got within 25 miles of our coast. They're pushing it. They're just pushing it. Because Biden, of course, you guys know, approved the use of American offensive weapons from Ukraine into Russia. So this is how they're countering that. They're showing Americans that, hey, look, we're right here. We're on your doorstep. And there's nothing we can do about it. Of course, they're sending trackers, airplanes there. There are numerous naval aircraft to track the submarines and the ships that Russia has in our area. But that's it. They're watching them. Is that going to stop anything? I don't think so. If they want to push a button, they're going to push it. But this is where you got to get real with your preps, especially here in Florida, if you're here in Florida. I'm going to tell you something, guys. Did you know we have 56 military installations in the state of Florida?
We're toast.
20 of them are considered major bases. Like MacDill over there in Tampa or Jacksonville Naval Station, or, there's several others here. But if they do go all out and push the button and you live in Florida, I don't give a damn what you've got in place, how hard you've worked, how much you've prepped. You ain't going to survive. And that's why you need to set priorities when you're prepping. Right here, we're taking measures for a nuclear attack that will happen like in New York or Los Angeles or Washington. We're making our preparations for that, where we're going to go, what we have to get there, stuff like that. But if it's all out nuclear, like, you see on these movies and stuff, we'll never get off this peninsula. I know that. Set your limits on the things that you cannot absolutely achieve, like that. If we're in an all-out nuclear war, you're not going to live. If you survive the initial attack, in areas that are heavily bombed, you might live another 2 weeks before you die of radiation poisoning. But now there's a lot of areas of the country where that'll never happen. Unfortunately, this ain't one of those areas.
Nope.
So I set my priorities straight. When it comes to nuclear all out, we're done. But like I said, if it's an attack somewhere else, we got a plan in place. What we're going to do, where we're going to go, how we're going to get there. Do that now, because they're obviously pushing the envelope on these things. People that are actually causing all the trouble, they'll never see the results. They'll see the results of it, but they won't have to live with it, because they're going to be in a bunker about 2 miles underground. They don't care about us. We're just, what did Klaus Schwab call us? Useless eaters. Eaters. We eat the food, and that's all we do. They can't. Yeah, and that's from the guy that wants to control the world. Right. That right there tells you what they think of us. And all the political heads of state are involved in that in one way or another. So they really don't care when you get right down to it. That douchebag Hunter will be in a hole somewhere, safe and sound, eating filet mignon while we're sitting out here waiting to bake. That's the way this political system thinks about us. So you set your priorities. Find out what you need to survive. Set a goal to get that. Find out what skills you need to survive. Learn those skills to achieve the outcomes that you want when you have to use those skills. Find what you're going to, find out what you're going to need to defend yourself in situations, and get what you need to defend yourself in those situations. Because they're pushing this thing. They're pushing it so far. Now, with what's going on with our economy, I don't know which one's going to happen first. Is the dollar going to collapse, or is old Vladdy over there going to pop off a nuke and piss off everybody in the world? If he does it even in Europe, it's going to affect us here. It's not going to be an actual life threat to us here, but it's going to affect our economy. It's going to affect our food chain. It's going to affect, everything in this country, because then we're going to have to channel all our efforts into protecting Europe. That's what they'll do, not protecting us. I could be wrong, though, but I think that's the way this administration would work it. Hope I'm wrong. They might not. But you cannot depend on this government to defend you or to protect you. You need to get ready. You need to set your goals. Set one goal a month, okay? We got one right here, right now. I'm going to get a solar power system. Okay, don't stop. You started that ball rolling. I told you, let me know what you want to do. Shoot me an email. Shoot me that email tomorrow or tonight. Keep that ball rolling and achieve that goal, because you're going to need it, not for a nuclear attack. You're going to need it for, a lights out situation, hurricane, a storm, whatever. That's something realistic. And you've set a goal. Now make sure you get it. On your food, do the same thing. How long do you think you could survive right now if the lights went out and they didn't come back on? Determine how long you think it would take you to learn how to barter or to learn how to farm and sustain yourself and get you enough food to last that long while you're in that learning process. It's that simple.
Dana posted something there about the protests.
Which one?
Down towards the bottom. It's in all caps.
It's in all caps.
She said, do you think the protests from climate change
Free Palestine at colleges.
A way to make us go into a civil war and
that could be part of trying to stir it up.
Well, if they declare martial law, they can cancel the election, right?
Right. The pro-Palestine thing is about to die out. I mean, there's one, maybe two protests in the country right now. Don't think that's the one we need to worry about right now. But they will come up with something. They're going to have a lot of protests this summer. Have to. Got to keep you distracted. Got to keep people pissed off. That's part of the plan. I think that was their point to start, but they jumped it off a little bit too early. They should have waited till about the end of this month to get that going, when everybody, in the low income areas is really pissed off because their air conditioning ain't working, and they got to get out in the streets and raise hell. That would have been a better time to do that, not when they started it.
David asked, he hears about Israel's Iron Dome. Do we have an Iron Dome?
No, the United States does not have. We have an Iron Dome system, but it has to cover such a large area, it's going to be impossible for it to work. Israel is about the size of New Jersey, I think. It's easy to protect an area that size with an Iron Dome system, but when you're talking about the entire United States, nope. They might take out a few, but they're not going to get them all. That's for dang sure. But hopefully that won't happen now. I know old Vladdy's flexing some muscle right now, and he has to. I understand why he's doing it. After what Joe Biden, or Anthony Blinken actually is the one that did it. Joe Biden ain't making no decisions. That poor moron. Did you see him today in Italy? All the leaders in the G7 are all gathered up here watching this presentation, and Joe just looks off and wanders off. And, one of the other leaders had to go get him and pull him back. He ain't making no decisions, guys. He's just a puppet. That's all that guy is. But right now, tonight, tomorrow at the latest, you sit down and think about what you need the most to be prepared. If the dollar crashes tomorrow, if the lights go out and don't ever come back on, you determine what you need the most. You set that goal, a realistic goal, and then you work to achieve that. And once you achieve that, do it again. Go to that next step. Because the time for playing around is over. It's over, guys. I'm not saying this to scare you. Hopefully I'm motivating you. Because, I know what's coming. I've been in places where these kind of things have happened. There's third world countries all over the world where people were, they were living a nice, happy life, and all of a sudden their government went to hell, and they've been poor ever since, and they've been struggling ever since.
Look at Venezuela.
You don't want to get into that situation. Venezuela's actually making a comeback.
Yeah, but look what they went through to get there.
Yeah. 3-4 years ago in Venezuela, they were eating dogs in the street and eating the animals in the zoos. Well, that's what it took for those people to wise up. And finally, they turned their leadership around, is what they did. We don't want to get to that point. Hopefully we won't get to that point. But if we do, it's going to be a lot worse than what they went through down there. All right, guys. Glad you all showed up. I love every one of you. If I missed you in a roll call, I apologize. My ice is gone. Got to go get some ice. All right, then. If you got any questions, shoot them to me. Let me pop that email up there for you guys. Most of you probably already have it, but if you don't, there it is. If you got anything you want to email me about, please do. Who was I trying to click on there? Well, there he is. All American Prepper. What's going on, buddy? Been watching you too. Go over and check his channel out, guys. He's got some great stuff. Also, Rural. Go check him out. A lot of you folks here are already subscribers over there, but if you're not, please go over and check him out. Subscribe if you think he's worth it. There we go. Oh, and I found a way to stop from losing subscribers. Didn't tell you guys this. Let me tell you before you go. Found a way to stop losing subscribers. Don't post videos.
There you go. You have been slacking.
I took 2 weeks off. I don't know if you guys noticed it or not. Hopefully you did. Hopefully somewhere along that 2 weeks you said, is he going to publish anything? But I took 2 weeks off just to do a test. In that 2 weeks, I didn't lose any subscribers. Didn't gain any, but I didn't lose any. Posted one video, lost 5 subscribers.
The guy in the basement's watching you, babe.
Yeah. A few days later, I posted another video, lost 5 subscribers.
Oh, man, they're nickel and diming you.
They're just taking them a little bit at a time. But as long as I keep my mouth shut, they seem to leave me alone. But I ain't going to do that. Y'all know that. Got a couple of good videos coming up. One Saturday morning about your, got to watch what I say here. I'm going to call it a pew pack, a pew pack. Let me do that. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a quick one, but it's going to give you some good tips on how to carry. Let me put it that way. Got that one already in the works. I got another one I'm planning. So be looking for those this week. I'd appreciate it. If you tell your friends, I might actually recoup the subscribers, the 5 that I lose. So if you tell your friends and help me get 5, it should even out. But all right, folks, gonna get out of here. Hopefully you'll have a great weekend. I love every one of you. You know that. But keep your eyes on what's happening, folks. Things ain't getting no better. Name one thing. Sit down and name one thing that's gotten better in this country in the last 3.5 years. You think about that.
OP Nation.
Yeah. And then next week, you tell me what that one thing is that you thought of. And we'll talk about it. I promise you. With that, I'm going to say stay strong, keep prepping,